Hello everybody and welcome to JGod Gaming. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the Bren LMG. It's basically a two-shot kill at all ranges unless you're shooting through something. It'll give you the best class setup in my opinion. I started this match a little bit late and you're going to see that I go on a pretty good amount of streak. Spawns flip and then we go ahead and go to the other side once the halftime hits, and then I go on another streak, ended up with the ball turret gunner. So we'll get to that point. As far as the best class setup in my opinion is, you need extended mags, you need rapid fire because it has an incredibly slow rate of fire, and you're going to want to make sure you definitely use some kind of sight, just because I'm not a fan of the iron sights. But if you are a fan, you could use any other attachment. It doesn't really matter. Maybe grip, even though the grip wouldn't really help too much just because there's not a ton of recoil with this weapon. So you can see right here, the main way you have to play with an LMG, especially this is a non-mobile LMG, so it goes a lot of the line of the best class setup I did for the Stinger. You want to make sure that you control your side of the map, make sure you have long sight lines, make sure you hit your shots, and then just continue to reposition yourself in a way that continues to have long sight lines. For whatever reason, these people are just running out of spawn and they weren't even paying attention, not pressing me, and then I'm kind of just holding down this lane. If you know how to play Aachen like I do, a lot of people don't know this, but you got to actually just stick to this right side of the map. What's going to happen is it's going to make it really easy for your teammates to push in, hold map control, and then actually get those easy goals. Obviously, it can feel kind of scummy at times because you're just hitting them right out of spawn, but you are at incredible risk because if your teammates die, they are nowhere to help you at a long distance. So you can see right here, I'm kind of holding down this right side of the map, making sure they do not push this way, and anytime they do, I shut them down. If you are new to the channel, I typically do these best class setups and talk a little bit about tips and tricks and guides on how to improve spawn control, map control, overall map awareness. You can see this guy was gunning for me. He came around the corner. If you do enjoy this type of breakdown where I explain the class to you and actually go through the actual attachments of why I chose what I chose and kind of what I'm thinking in the map, make sure you click that like button if you're enjoying the video. Make sure you do subscribe if you are brand new, and make sure you turn the notifications on because I do upload on a regular basis and I make sure that I put out the highest quality possible, and I'm open to feedback down in the comment section below. So definitely leave a comment below if you got any questions, concerns on a future video or another class that you'd like me to cover that I haven't already. So right here you can see I'm just kind of holding the line, really just trying to push to get some extra kills before the half. And overall, you don't want to head into the second half with 0 kills towards your streaks. You want to get something going, so you don't need as many kills to get the ball rolling. If I was still on like a 9-10 streak, I would only need a couple more to call my paratroopers, my bombing run, and my ball turret gunner. So a lot of times you can set yourself up for success depending on what streaks you normally get. If you normally get like 2 or 3 streaks, 5 streaks, 6 streaks, just pace that according to your current skill level and kind of where you're at. Right now I'm just kind of waiting. I want at least a recon before I start to push up, and they're throwing smoke, so it makes it a little difficult, and I keep peeking to this left side because I'm hearing that bouncing Betty could possibly go off at any time, and then just kind of waiting and positioning, playing slow because with a Lewis you can actually move a little bit more. Bren, you got to slow it down a little bit. MG15, you can move fast. Stinger, slow. So there's certain classes of weapons, usually the 3 and 4 shot weapons that have a higher rate of fire, you can be more mobile with because you can hit fire and have greater chances of hitting somebody. As far as the Bren go and the Stinger, you got to play these slower, and kind of camp it out. See, I'm kind of rotating. I'm not necessarily just camped up in one spot. I am kind of rotating, and eventually I make the move to push. And you'll see kind of when I do that, some of my teammates are already starting to get map control. I'm not able to help them too much with it because with this style of map, there's really only the 3 lanes, and most of the maps are 3 lane, but this one doesn't really have flank routes because you have to literally pass from one of the lanes. You can't go around and sneak around or something like that. So you just got to play it smart. So right here, I see a teammate there. I decide, okay, let me see. I'm going to push up a little bit more, and I got to play to the strengths of this weapon. Like I said, it is a 2-shot kill, or 3 if you're shooting through something. So I'm just peeking out, make sure I land my shots, get back to cover. And that's one of the great things about extended mags. It bumps up the magazine all the way to 100, and if you land your shots, I mean, realistically, you could get 50 kills on one magazine. Like, how absurd is that? 50 kills in one magazine if you don't miss any shots. Not very likely, but it really means that you don't have to reload too often if you land your shots, and you can choose the time to reload when you want. So that's the safe part there. Having a faster rate of fire, 7% with Rapid fire will actually bump that up, so drops your time to kill slightly, because if you miss shots, you're in a bad position. So I typically play gridiron just because the spawns are a little bit more controllable. I know exactly where people are going to be going, especially since teammates tend to flip spawns when you play solo. Domination, kill confirm, team death, basically every mode that doesn't flip, that allows for flipping the spawns, your teammates flip them. They don't know what they're doing. They're chasing kills instead of letting the kills come to them by playing smart, maneuvering around the map. So you see right here, I ended up being 3 hit markers, I think, and it's just a kind of bad position because I did shoot through the object. So right now I can see it's not a good position for me to rush out. My teammates are kind of pushing up right side mid, and then I'm kind of waiting out until I can push forward, because I do want to push forward, but I want to make sure I have map control. So I go ahead and melt that guy, keep him off mid, and as soon as I start getting pushed into this area, we're starting to score. You can see the score, we're outnumbering the score significantly. It's going to lead to easy win. If you guys didn't know about my spawn guides, go ahead and check those out so you can understand the spawns of this map. Because basically if my teammates push too far to that right side, where they're at right now, the enemy team will spawn pretty much in front of me. Now that I got the paratroopers, I can actually control the map the way I want and position myself and use them to tell me where the enemies are. So right here I know I could push up because my paratrooper just went through this left side, and then I can kind of peek around, peek back to the other side, and now I know they're spawning in this area. So I go down, take him out, position myself very smart in this way. So I know they're coming out, I know I'm in a bad position, I get out of there. My paratroopers were stealing my kills, but in the end you can see this is how you would play in this map. You want to make sure that you're in a position where you can land the shots cleanly. Make sure that your flanks are covered. I got my teammates to the right. They're a little too deep in the spawn, so they're causing these people to flip out and spawn right in front of me. And then I'm kind of just rotating back and forth. I got 34 still in the magazine, and I haven't reloaded this entire round. So I fired around 60 shots right there, and you can see right there I took that dude out real quick, knowing exactly where they're at. They're kind of locked in this area, and then my teammates are able to push and score again and again and again. And that's one of the nice things. Once you start going on a streak, controlling the map, positioning yourself, it leads to easy wins. Take that guy out, and then I decide time to pull out the ball turret gunner. It's going to be game over. So again, this is how you're going to want to use this weapon. The reason why I did this best class setup is because in the comment section of one of my prior videos, someone said, hey, can you do one for the Bren? I just don't know how to use it. So I'm going into pretty much good detail of how I would use it. I used it again on Flak Tower. I dropped the V2 with it. I didn't have my recording on, so I wasn't able to record that. But it basically uses the same class setup. You play smart. You got to position yourself the right way. You can't run and gun. Just position, play well, and you're going to be successful as possible. So if you are still sticking around watching the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make sure you turn those notifications on if you can. All those types of things really help out the channel. Comment down below either a question I have below or a next class setup you'd like me to cover if you don't feel like I've covered one enough. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.